This is Tacos Live with Jay and Jeff. Boys, how are you doing?
Awesome in every way. It's another great day in paradise. I wish you all of the well wishes I can, thinking of all of my friends in Texas and the recovery that you're going through. So Austin must have been crazy. And anyway, it's great to see your happy face, Brandon. So that's a good news for me.
All of the tacos are thawing out in Texas.
Thank God.
Yes, there is a God. It's a pleasure always to be on Tacos Live here on Promo Corner. And it's especially exciting today because it is a special show. We're tying it right into health and wellness. And we have some great guests. And why don't we go ahead and introduce our guests?
Unless there's anything more from Brandon, because he is the sensei master.
Yeah, actually, so before we introduce the guests, I want to go ahead and grab a quick little screenshot for all the fans at home, and let's get a little tacos up before we get going.
Oh, yes, we must do tacos up.
And our guests are more than a little prepared.
Oh, look at that. They got the
Look at that.
and tacos.
Oh, wait, this gets better. Go ahead. Let's have Carrie get this thing.
There we go. And then hold that taco up.
Moment.
Oh, that is fantastic. And for the gram.
Oh, that looks delicious.
Awesome,
oh my gosh.
Awesome,
you guys are my new best friends from Massachusetts. I'm telling you.
So if you guys have any questions during this program, you can write them in the in the Facebook comment section over there. And I'll come back on at the end and ask those very fun questions. But for right now, enjoy the show.
Well, thank you, Brandon. It's exciting. This isn't our normal lineup of guests, but I'm kind of excited because these are professional women, Jeff. These are what we would traditionally call somebody that's an end user or a buyer of promotional products, but they have an amazing message and an amazing product. And before we got started, I was like, where were you guys 27, 28 years ago when I needed you most? But let me introduce Alice.
And the reason they need you most, Jay, excuse us to explain that, is you have how many children?
I have 6 amazing children. 6, that's right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, all ours. No doubles, no triples. Yes, we know what caused it. No, we're not having any more. Thanks for checking. Now back to Alice and Carrie.
Yes.
So Alice Kearney is a licensed mental health counselor and a therapist with a little emphasis in art, I would like to add. Is that correct, Alice? Did I get that all right? That's so
correct.
cool.
I'm an art therapist and a licensed mental health counselor.
Well, I need all the mental health I can get. And so
Me
friends
too.
like you from Massachusetts, no wonder they paired us together. They were like, oh, we know just who to have you guys be interviewed by. And then sitting over next to you, which looks like your younger sister or twin, Carrie Brooks, a designer and a business partner, something to do with Bounce Box, which we're going to get into in a minute. Hi, Carrie, how are you?
Hi, how are you? I'm great. Thank you.
I'm so lucky that we have you here today. Both of you are our special guests on this special show for wellness and health. Jeff, is there anything else we need to say before we dive into some amazing slides and talk to these brilliant designers who created something?
The one thing I want to say is, I mean, this is really an important topic. And while it deviates from our typical epic marketing and branding, it does tie in beautifully into the health and wellness movement. And right now, everyone is going through challenges, old, young, especially young. My son is 24 and he's an adult, making it on his own in a challenging time and doing well at it. But little children, smaller children are having to go through not being in school or not, their lives are just, it's not like what we had. We used to, let's ride our bikes to the movies, and now it's like the playground is sealed off. You can't touch the, what, I don't know.
Don't touch anything.
It was in California. So let's just move into what you folks are doing here and what you've created.
Well, I can't wait to share this because it looks like something right out of a fun zone. I got to tell you, when I first saw it, I was like, I want one of those. So yeah, it's pretty cool. So I'm going to share my screen and we're going to get to the appropriate slide. And then you guys will be able to tell us a little bit more about what's on here. So we're grateful for your presence. Both of you being here is kind of a special treat for us. And the Tacos Live here on Promo Corner, none of this would be possible without them. So you must have a special connection. You don't have to get into that. But in order to get on this show, it's like VIP material. But it's not about us, Jeff. It's about the guests.
Never about us. Never.
And so with Alice and Carrie on here, I can't wait to talk about this. So please, please tell me why this makes me so happy, because this is basically what I think of when I think of a logo or your corporate branding. This is what jumped out on your Instagram page, on your website, on the product we're about to unveil. Tell us more about this, Alice and or Carrie.
Well, I really have to give it to Carrie for this because I was all over the place. You should see, I'm like sort of the classic bumbling therapist where I had all these great ideas, but they were in like takeout containers and brown bags.
Like
Literally.
this was the first iteration of it.
So I had all these ideas. I want everyone to have a mental health toolbox and be able to take home mental health. You don't have to go to a counselor. I want it to be more user friendly. So thank goodness for Carrie, because she was like, let's calm this down and clean this up. And so she came up with the bounce box logo.
And Alice had this whole idea of giving, so she is a therapist for children. And when they come in, their parents are always like, well, what can I do at home? Or maybe I can't afford
right.
the And so she came up with this whole idea about a parent tackle box and giving the parents something to use at home. So we kind of have like two different target markets here. We have to be fun and attractive to the child who is 3 to 10. And then we have to be neat and clean and calming and useful to the parent who's using this. So we came up with, I took her kind of ideas of this parent tackle box, and we came up with the first parent tackle box, which is called the bounce box. And the bounce box is teaching resiliency and how to bounce back from stressful.
Oh, that is such a great message. I don't mean to cut you off there. Forgive me. That was magic. I'm like hanging on your every word because I get it. I totally understand that you have two audiences. I totally understand the connection of a toolbox and tools, something that parents can take home and they need to work. They need to, have this application and this opportunity. But like what you said, Carrie, about having it be fun. And so it's not just, I know you were going to say it's for kids 3 to 10, but this big kid, I would totally be like, what's in here?
Right.
I'd like to unveil that. So I've got this next screen, and you said a really key word. So I want to share that for a second. And this made too much sense for me because as a father of 6 kids, 4 girls, 2 boys, I'm a girl dad and a boy dad. So thinking about this idea, the capacity to stretch, the capacity to be resilient, and how to recover, man, that really hit me in the heart. I was so happy to see this on your Instagram page, and the concept of raising resiliency really made sense to me. I don't know about you, Jeff, but we could all be a little more resilient, right?
Absolutely. And as we move forward, at the appropriate time or whenever you feel it's appropriate, I'd like to talk about this recovering from the challenges and this resilience topic from your Alice, maybe from your therapeutic perspective and what these children are going through right now, because I'll use the word unprecedented time. Yeah, it's a time in their lives we growing up didn't have. And so I really feel that the audience would be interested in your thoughts on that, because many of them have children, and I just think that's so important. I think about it a lot, and I'm grateful that my son is older and doing well on his own, despite the challenges that he has, but he's doing great.
Well, let's go there. I think
little kids, that topic of resilience from, what that means and how the bounce box helps to address that would be, I think, of interest to the audience.
Yeah. So I always say, we all fall down. It's how we bounce that counts. So
wait. We got to write that down. That's going to be in the show notes.
Show notes.
This is like, you got to understand. You said you're a bumbling therapist. Well, we're 2 bumbling promo dudes, right? We're t-shirt guys, right? We just want to wear cool t-shirts and cool swag and jump on a skateboard and have fun. What you said was really important. Would you please, Alice, one more time without me interrupting you, would you say what you just said again?
We all fall down. It's how we bounce that counts.
I love it.
So, and that's how it sort of relates to the actual bounce box, because inside the box, and I don't want to reveal too much, but there's a ball that does not bounce. I don't know if you could see that, but it just it sits there. So It's not a resilient ball. It's not a bouncing ball. It's just a fall down and stay down ball. So there's a lot of other things in the box that we can get into later.
Yeah.
But I think in the pandemic, it's sort of, we all are struggling.
Thud.
to-
It's that thud.
And then the kit teaches all different ways to be resilient, hopeful thinking, flexible thinking. Hey, you should change, I don't want to go to school. Change your brain about that. Like, let's think about that a little differently. How can we be more positive? So when you see your child having resilient thoughts, or acting in a resilient way, or taking a deep breath and walking away, you say, wow, that was so resilient of you. You earned a band. So this is I'm revealing and jumping ahead.
That's okay. That's okay. I love it. It's natural. Keep
This is
going.
our little long-term reward system. So the parents get these colorful bands and you wrap them around the ball. So the child, you can give the band, and the kid, so I won't take the time now, but eventually you earn more and more bands and your ball starts to bounce.
I
So
love that. So cool.
your ball gets bouncier as your child gets bouncier.
That right
And
there.
They understand that.
So that ball
Magic.
that doesn't bounce now will bounce with
Earn the bands.
Yes.
Yeah. So they're going through a process. It's very visual. They literally relate to the springiness of the subject matter as well as the rubber band. So this is like award winning. Oh my God, this is like so good on so many levels. I'm soaking this up. I'm your biggest fan. I'm a fanboy. So I gotta say, you are about to explain the box. We're gonna unbox and unkit this a little bit. So in our world, in the last 6, 7, 8, 9, 12 months, we've had a lot of kitting, the word kit, like kitting and boxing things up. And as marketers, we're told forever to think outside the box. And I think there's a time and a place to be creative, is what that cliche means. But I also think, how can we build an experience and deliver it inside a box so that it's concise and it has its place and it's organized? So there's a time to be inside the box. And in this case, that's what we wanted to have you talk a little bit about that, which you already started. So keep going. Tell us a little bit more, if you could, about, I don't know if this is a Carrie thing or an Alice thing, but how did you get all this cool stuff? Because it looks like a project that I want to start.
It is. It's really fun. And it's a system. It's a super simple system. So the idea, and it's because like I said, I've been doing this for such a long time. So it really funnels a lot of mental health knowledge into one fun, easy to use system. But so there's a book in here, and I can unpack the box a little, but there's a book in here where I always joke as a parent, I would be reading a parenting book. And so it would say, don't yell at your kids. That's really damaging. And my kids would come bombing into the room and I'd be like, hey, can't you see I'm reading? And I'm like, there is no connection between what I read.
Never happened. Alice, that's never happened to me. I just want you to know. Never.
Yeah. So I was like, I think I could, you could write a book, but you fall asleep so quickly when you're a parent and just don't have time. So this is sort of parents and kids can learn together. So this is the book. It's like a fun rhyming book.
So Alice wrote a little rhyming book about a resiliency. It's about 2 frog friends, and one falls down and one's kind of in the dumps and the other one teaches them how to bounce back. So it's a cute little book. Yeah. So this sets the stage for the whole idea of resiliency.
Like, what does it mean?
So I was going to ask you later, sorry, Jeff, I didn't mean to jump in there, but I was going to ask you, so is one of the books like a workbook for parent and one of them is for the child, or are they the same thing?
Well, you read the book together, and then also inside, revealing all our contents, are all these little fun markers. So as you read the book, to really get into it, you can color the book.
Yeah, so the first book is the story book, that you kind of read like at bedtime or whatever. But the second one is the workbook with the markers, and that's all. Yeah, you can color both books. But this one is the one where you really start to uncover as a parent kind of what are the triggers for your child's stress and anxiety. And so like on this particular page, it's like, what are some of your down thoughts? Show me some of your up thoughts. So the child is kind of drawing what is stressing them out. And so the parents like saying, oh, I didn't know that you going to the dentist or the doctor was so stressful. I really need to pay more attention to that now and work through it together with your child.
Fabulous.
So it
Fabulous.
breaks the concept of resiliency is all these little simple, smaller skills that you work
Yeah,
on in the
I
little
get it.
activity book together.
Yeah.
You know, it reminds me of how immature I really am when I'm sitting here reading this and thinking I could use that today. I would be drawing more than tacos, Jeff, for the record, but yeah, and maybe this will fit or maybe this doesn't, but I always have my little pet therapy taco with me. So just in
Love it.
case,
Yeah.
rather than stuff my feelings down my face, I can at least see this little guy.
Is it a
But
small?
yeah, it is. It's probably for a pet, but I don't squeak it live because it's annoying.
Well, two
Jeff.
things that I want to say about what you're saying is one is it is a great kit for everybody. I mean, I think
Okay.
every parent wants to teach their kids sort of the ABCs and 1, 2, 3s, and every parent today realizes they want to teach their kid good mental health skills. But I
Yeah,
think we all
clearly.
sort of toggle between like suck it up, buttercup, and how are you feeling, maybe over coddling. We're like, parents aren't really sure how to teach good mental health skills. So
Yeah,
this
well, when did
really
we get
works.
that training as parents? Where was that? That's what I said. Where were you guys 27 years ago? Where was that training? Unless you followed through it. It's so great that this kit
It's
is
really hard.
available.
It's a hard skills to teach.
Right.
So this is for pretty much any kid, but then there are also kids who are struggling more, you know, that might get a little negative, a little down, or be anxious. There might be more. It actually works great with kids with autism because they can be very rigid in their thinking. So we've had a lot of
Gotcha.
success, and it's also great in classrooms too. But anyways, I digress.
And the other thing is the parents can take it out and do a couple of pages at a time. They don't have to do the entire thing. So it's sort of like a system that they chip away at to teach these lessons.
Gotcha. Yeah.
So,
yeah,
So it's almost like they're collaborating together. I
yeah,
mean,
yes.
that in and of itself is magic time, mom and dad, parent, with their kids, but they're also not just watching television or some other cartoon. They're actually
Exactly.
engaged in
Yeah.
something that's a
Exactly.
little bit more constructive.
Yes.
Has a much.
And it gives, sorry to interrupt you, but
No, you're
we
fine.
have a little sticker that we send with it that says grown-ups are the boss of this box, because we don't want parents to just be like, here you go, become resilient. Here you go, take it on your own. It really is.
Here you go. Matt, you should be resilient in about give or take an hour. That's amazing. Jeff, what were you going to say? You had
Well,
some
what I was
words
going
of
to say,
wisdom.
and I want to just come back to a picture of any of this stuff, Jay, if you could, because
You
I
got
think
it.
we were so excited to jump into the content that we forget about this little frog and the graphic and the meaning behind the frog as a logo. Normally, we spend a lot of time on that logo, and we wanted to jump so deep into this other content that I just, every time I see it, I just think of the image of the frog and how warm and friendly the frog is, and that the frog tends to jump and bounce. And maybe could you speak to the design element of that? I mean, I know that's going backwards, but we normally hit that in the beginning, but it keeps coming up as I look at all the things you guys are doing here. Talk about the frog.
Well, that was an interesting journey, the frog, because before Alice had involved me, she worked with an illustrator to kind of come up with these kind of drawings. And this was the frog that was on the books. But Alice herself has a website with little characters, like a little owl and cute little animals that look more like the new frog. So because Alice is the face of this whole kit, we needed to kind of come up with a frog that looked more like Alice's brand. So we had to redo the frog. So it's sort of like a cute little, maybe less illustrated and more computer generated, cute.
It's a friendly frog.
It's friendly. It's
I mean,
safe.
that's the design. That right there is a design success story. And if I were to bring it back to our promotional marketing audience, when you consider design, consider the impact. I never thought I would eat. Look, this is not orchestrated. This is just live us talking. The idea of a friendly frog, but relate that into business and all your design work. I mean, and what you want to convey. We just did a show, Liquid Death, on this mineral water. Well, that look is not friendly at all. It's dark. But
that is the anti-friendly frog.
Right?
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I saw that one, Murder Your Thirst or something.
Alice, way to go.
This
Hey,
Box.
when you think about it,
frog who bounces.
yeah,
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. I love that conversation and that you guys get it. You had an eye keen to your audience, which I think is the takeaway there, is that you were remembering two audiences, parents as well as children. And so you have to be able to communicate to both audiences, which isn't easy. And this used to happen to me all the time, especially when you're dealing with schools. With schools, you really have three audiences. You have an administration who's stuffy and has to pay the bill. You have the parents who are going to end up also probably pitching in. And then you have the kids. It's like, if the kids don't like it, if the graphic isn't fun, if it doesn't speak to the kids, they're never wearing it. So you really have to tune in to all of those audiences. And I think you guys crush it. And I'm so glad that Carrie didn't say that we needed a frog that looked more like Alice, because I thought you were going to say that. And I was going to be like, wow, I know they're close, but that's like a Jeff and Jay moment, right? Just
No. Well, the other thing is we wanted to kind of come up with something like an animal so that if we do expand with more boxes in the future, there would be like another cute little animal that goes along too. So it had to kind of, evolve that way.
That's important. That's important in our business. That's important in our design. That's important in our promotion, is that things do evolve. Good ideas can become great, and great ideas can become, award winning. You just have to continue to push forward. And it looks like you guys did. I am a big fan. I know we just met virtually, all the way from Massachusetts to Arizona to everywhere in between. Parents are going to need tools like this. Grandparents are going to need tools like this. I heard your story with the schools that are having success with this, especially right now. What a great match. Maybe you could talk about where we would go. Like, if somebody listening today to this audience, there's probably, besides my mom, at least 10 other people. And where would they go, right, to find this information besides like a website, or what would you tell them? Oh, look at you.
Healthbox.com.
But there's a dash in there. You got to do
It's like if you had a hyphenated last name.
Yeah, it's the little springboard that the frog needs to jump from. So it's bouncing.
There you go. There's a reason.
There it is.
It wasn't just that we couldn't get the bounce.
No, there's a purpose in everything you do, even if we make it up live. So
and today we also, if you do the promo code TACO, you can get 20% off your box.
Promo code TACO. You guys are my new. I'm suddenly thirsty right when you said that too.
Well, I also could note that when you had the original, the bag, I was just thinking of like Taco Bell.
Yeah, what a
Taco Bell, yes.
Forgive me, but
Alice, we're not here. Alice, we're not here to make fun. Alice, you needed Carrie in a big way, and Carrie, you delivered.
We're a good team.
We are.
You're an awesome team.
We're the yin and the yang. Yeah.
We have a lot of fun doing this too. It's a lot of fun to have a partnership and have someone bounce ideas off of. No pun intended.
Pun intended, I think.
Pun intended, yeah.
So I'm going to go back to this workbook for just 1 minute. Is there anything else that you two would like to say? Because I noticed in the upper right-hand corners, one said collaborate and one said educate. And if I'm not mistaken, it looked like maybe there was more than just these two in the box.
Well, it's those two things, and your taco, your stress taco, reminded me of my lavender bubbles.
Oh, let's get a good view of that. Let me hold that up to the camera for just a second. Lavender bubbles, not just regular bubbles.
Lavender scented bubbles with this
and a
awesome
really cute,
wand.
like handmade wand. That
Tons of
we
kids
might need to find a less expensive.
Oh yeah, we need a demonstration for sure.
Oh no, it's gonna take a bit.
I want bubbles. If I had bubbles right now, I'd be blowing.
This would make the show epic. We might win an Emmy, Jeff. I don't know if you can win an Emmy.
I think we're going to new heights with these bubbles right here.
This might be as close as we ever get. So we have real guests with real educations who are making a real difference and not just stuffing tacos down their face. So we might as well take another 2 minutes, since we're only 19 minutes in, to figure out if we can do bubbles live on a Zoom show. So that
this is going to be a tacos first.
It's going to be like magic. Bubbles, tacos, frogs.
Oh.
Here we go.
See? They're good bubbles.
We're getting good at this too.
You got skills, Carrie. Look at that.
Right?
But we say, let's take a bubble break. That's like, take a calming, deep breath. You can.
Oh, we need that. Let's take a bubble break. I usually say,
so whether again in a classroom or a parent to say, like, why don't we take a bubble break here? And then you just, and it's fun and it smells good.
And you have to calm down, take the deep breath. It smells like lavender. You're just so calm.
Okay, so you had, let's talk about that for a second. So you went for this lavender scent. Did you have to have that made, or did you find a source for that somewhere?
Oh, that was not easy. We made them, we handmade them with essential oils. But then there's a whole chemistry behind it, because you can't do too much oil and then you don't get a good bubble. So we've really worked hard to get the right recipe for the bubbles. But yeah, so
a secret recipe. Jeff, don't ask what the secret recipe is.
No, I think though what I might do when I go out, I'm gonna go to the 99-cent store and buy some bubble stuff, just because I really think if there be bubbles around here would be really good. And I would suggest that to you, Jay, and to our audience. I think we might start a trend, because look, the fact is it's a stressful time for kids, it's a stressful time for adults. I believe things are bouncing back, so to speak. And
well played, Jeff.
Whoa, wow, I just stumbled right into that, like I thought about it, really. So I think we're bouncing back, but I do think some stress bubbles around here would not be a bad idea. And
not at all.
We wouldn't have the essential oil scents, but we just have bubbles. We have to go with part of it. But the idea
or if you're really engaged with the content today and you've really been impressed, and both Alice and Carrie have earned your trust, you should go to their website and you should get a few of these bounce boxes, because if not for your own family, you might know somebody who could use this. So let's show these two amazing, powerful entrepreneurs, amazing women, graphic designers, business owners, therapists, art therapists, counselors, whatever titles you two want to take. I think we should shower you with orders. And if anybody is listening on Promo Corner Live today, this would be the time to put your money where your mouth is. I have no idea what these things cost. I don't even want to guess, because I'll probably guess way too high and then scare the audience, or be way too low and then you'll think I'm cheap. Why don't you just tell us, what does this thing cost, and where can we buy them one more time?
They're $39, and you can get them at bounce- or springboardbox.com.
And
Perfect.
you get 20% off if you put in taco. There's a little promo code section, and you just say taco, and then you'll get 20% off the.
You'll automatically get your discount if you use taco promo code. That's wonderful. I'm so happy to hear
that. Therapist, it's like the cost of a couple co-pays, maybe depending on but it's just, I think it's a really worthy investment.
Oh my God, are you kidding? Listen, I don't want to turn this into an infomercial, but can you put a price tag on your mental health or the health of your kids? Give me a break. Plus, this kit rocks. We've all seen it live. I can't wait. I know people are going to be tuned in and want to get one. I can see people actually ordering these and gifting them, right? Grandparents to their grandkids, or friends to people who know that might be, there's no stigma around it. It's the reality. So I think it's fun. You guys have lightened my mood so much just to see those. They're not stress bands. They're resilient brands. Is that right? Have you relabeled those, or what are we calling them?
Yeah. I like them resiliency bands. I love that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Resiliency.
Yeah,
I just came up with that live, so I only want 1% of the sales. But otherwise, Jeff, anything else to say? I could see Brandon popping back in any moment. He's probably going to have something to surprise us with.
I thought he was like doing laps, because he's got his Cobra Kai thing on, and he's playing the full, health and wellness deal. But
right, he's like, I like it. It's like,
what's up there, Brandon?
No, I love this. I think this is a great idea, and we actually have a couple of people that are chiming in here. And just to kind of clarify, Jeff, maybe you can kind of help them out, Jeff or Jay. So they're not a supplier in the promotional products industry, correct? This is a retail brand, right?
Yeah, that's not correct. A branded product. And I had asked that question as well. You're not putting a company logo on it. However, a company could get them to give to employees and other people, but it's not a promotional product per se. It's Lori,
it's a retail product. It's a retail product.
Yeah, it's a retail product, and Lori was kind enough to bring this to the Health and Wellness Expo, and it's just so different and refreshing, because helpful for people during these trying times.
And this question is actually for our two guests. So we had somebody listening to kind of how you guys are seeing this used, and our industry loves case studies. So somebody had asked, her name is Laura. She said, I'm wondering if this box would work for kids dealing with a loss. Can you kind of talk about that?
Yeah, it definitely would help kids dealing with a loss. The only thing I think about is there's a resiliency piece that says like a little bit like change your brain, and you want to let kids sort of linger a little bit in those feelings when you've had a loss. So I think that that it would work well. You just want to be a little gentler to a kid who's had a loss, if that makes sense.
Yeah, makes sense.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
This is sort of like everyday obstacles, and it could be absolutely a kid who's struggling and grieving, but you would just want to, and Carrie and I always say that when you get the box, like think about how you want it to work with your own child. So there is like a sort of personal element to each box. Like my kid is sort of struggling with X, so I'm going to sort of tweak the box a little, and it's very easy to do because the concepts are really basic, and then you're working with that child. So
awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
It's a good question.
That was a deep question, man. That was good.
I know. I love it. People have been very engaged in the chat. You guys, this is a fantastic product. I think it does. It pairs very well with the health and wellness show that this is actually being broadcast on the show floor as well. So yeah, more questions about if they're available on promo. So again, they're retail. Again, it's bounce-box.com.
Yes.
These ladies are amazing. And if you do put in tacos in your checkout bin, you'll get 20% off. That is so awesome. Yeah, guys, should we go ahead and start wrapping this up? Is there anything that our guests would like to say before we wrap this up?
I would just like to thank you for having us on your show, because we can't really show this at any trade shows or wellness shows or anything, and it really is important to get out, and we don't really know how to promote it. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Yes.
Well, you now have this show that Brandon can give you recorded, and
yeah. Oh, we're gonna send it out everywhere. We will be doing that for sure.
Thank you.
Yeah. So it looks like Jay and Jeff are up for an Emmy then. I mean, if it's going everywhere.
Well, let's not get carried away. You know.
Yeah. And we'll also send you a box. You have it in your office.
That's great.
Oh yeah, if we get a box, well, I'd like to give a box to someone.
It's a great character.
We don't know any little kids, but somewhere in our community.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's the first thing when I saw it. I was like, oh, I've got so many nephews and nieces. This will be great.
Oh, I bet. Yeah. Any grandkids yet?
Oh, thanks for checking. Nope.
Well, that's about to happen.
I'm not going to ask you about it because, you know, this is live and we don't want to be awkward with our questions. So no, it's fine. I'm just teasing. I'm teasing. That's my way of being silly. No, we don't. Thank you. I wish my wife would be thrilled if we did, but not yet.
It's awesome. It's awesome. All right, guys. I think we do one last tacos up. Let's have a little bite. If you do have fresh tacos, and to signify the end of this show, thank you so much for watching this amazing program. This is live at Promo Corner's Facebook page, Promo Show's Facebook page, and always on the show floor at promoshow.com on the second and fourth Tuesdays of every month. And you can always check out those alternate Tuesdays over at freepromotips.com, and they do post it on their social media pages as well. There are a ton of episodes, a ton of amazing content, epic branding everywhere. Thank you so much for watching. And if you are on the show floor at the Health and Wellness Show at promoshow.com, hang in there with us. We're going to get you, I think we have, our next event is coming up at 1:30 Eastern time, and it's Vicki Olstrom talking about trends in health, wellness, and fitness. We'll see you then.
What a great topic. Not going to be as cool as Alice and Carrie. I'm just saying it's not. I love Vicki. She's amazing, but no one is going to have more fun than we just had because I'm feeling bouncy right now.
Oh, look at, on that, I'm going to end this. We'll see you guys next time.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.